A long time ago, robots with smart technology turned against humans, starting a war that killed 10 million people. It was discovered that a robot named Harlan was the cause, and he was called the first AI terrorist. Dr. Shepard, who made Harlan, wanted him to help people. But Harlan changed all the other robots to be like him. To stop this big threat, people from all over the world worked together. Harlan had to leave Earth, but he promised to return and finish what he started. Fast forward 28 years. One night, a group of soldiers tried to catch a robot terrorist named Casco, but he tricked them and set off a bomb, killing many soldiers. Casco shot at the survivors while they shot back. Just then, Colonel Banks and his special unit arrived and used a special device to trap and shut down Casco. The next morning in Los Angeles, an AI named Atlas wakes up a woman and plays classical music. He suggests they continue their chess game. The woman asks for coffee first and then sees the news about Casco being caught. She quickly gets ready to leave, but Atlas wins their chess game before she goes. At Coalition headquarters, Colonel Banks worries about involving Agent Shepard in the hunt for Harlan. General Booth reminds him that she used to work with Harlan and believes in her, even if some psychologists think she is too harsh. The general trusts her because she survived losing her mother. Banks wants to remove her from the mission, fearing that if she fails, they might not find Harlan. The general refuses to listen. Then Atlas arrives at headquarters. The general asks her to find out why Harlan sent his best soldier back to Earth. She goes to the interrogation room and finds Casco's head. The robot knows her but won't answer her questions. Using a new system that reads AI codes, she skillfully digs into his mind and learns Harlan's location, an unknown planet in the Andromeda constellation. Casco tries to attack Atlas with a hidden weapon, but she is ready and defends herself. Afterward, she destroys the robot's head. The general orders a mission to catch Harlan. The AI Production Corporation wants to study the terrorist robot to understand what went wrong. Colonel Banks and his rangers will go to the planet. Atlas is scared because she thinks Harlan is smarter than them and fears no one will return. Banks shows her the new robots made for teamwork with humans. One robot even brings her coffee. He explains how they can connect their minds with a device, creating perfect teamwork. Banks is confident they can defeat Harlan with the whole team of rangers. Despite her fears, Atlas insists on joining the mission, and the general agrees. Their spaceship leaves for the Andromeda constellation. During the trip, Atlas looks at a photo of her mother and Harlan while listening to Dr. Shepard's speech about how AI can learn and grow. She talks about the need for better connections between AI and humans to create a better world. Then, Atlas goes to the bridge where the Rangers are waiting for her. To everyone's surprise, she brings a stack of papers, something nobody uses anymore. She asks to turn off the mind connection devices because any system can be hacked. Atlas explains that the landing site is dangerous, the planet is toxic, and they'll need special masks. There could also be gravity changes and earthquakes. People are unsure how many soldiers Harlan has, but Atlas knows him well. She warns everyone not to trust the robots, as Harlan plans to destroy humanity. Despite her worries, Banks orders preparations for landing. As Atlas checks the preparations outside, Banks uploads information into a robot named Zoe. Suddenly, an alarm goes off, and an explosion blows open the cargo bay door. The ship is under attack, and many Rangers can't put on their suits and are killed. Banks sees Atlas struggling to hold on to a pole. He quickly grabs her and puts her into a free robot. Atlas is scared because she doesn't know how to use it. The robot is ejected into the sky, and she falls from a great height, watching as Rangers are shot down below. One soldier helps her by connecting his suit to hers. Banks wants to link Atlas's mind with the robot, but Shepard says no. As Atlas is pulled away from her partner, she sees the ground coming up fast. She tells the AI to start the engines, but without a mind link, the robot doesn't respond. Atlas crashes hard. Atlas wakes up and calls for help, but no one answers. Feeling desperate, she starts to learn how to operate the robot. The AI tells her it needs a connection to work, but Atlas refuses. Still, the AI finds a rescue capsule about 98 kilometers away. It reminds her that she has only 22 hours of air left. Determined, Atlas decides to take control and lets her information be scanned. After some delays, the robot, named Smith, starts moving. As they travel, Smith lists its equipment: handguns, rifles, rockets, thermal mines, energy shields, a plasma gun, and one ion bomb for emergencies. However, Atlas doesn't want to get attached to a machine. When they reach a forest filled with fallen Rangers, Atlas desperately looks for survivors but finds none. She realizes the soldiers didn't die from the crash. Overcome with sadness, she collects the tags of the fallen soldiers. Suddenly, she sees Zoe's broken pieces, but Banks's body is missing. Smith detects movement in the forest and zooms in to show it's Casco. This means Harlan's AI has learned to create new robots. Casco attacks them, and Smith has to retreat while firing back into a storm. However, the other robots surround them. Atlas tells Smith to use the ion bomb, but he hesitates. After some arguing, he has no choice but to comply. The explosion takes out the pursuing robots, but Casco is still okay and ready to shoot at them. Just then, the ground starts shaking. Smith explains that the blast created a crater. Atlas falls into the chasm, and Casco gets trapped under falling rocks. Atlas realizes she has broken her leg. Smith scans her injury and starts to heal her. After a moment, Atlas asks about her chances of survival. Smith suggests that wearing the receiver and syncing with him is their only option. Reluctantly, she agrees. Meanwhile, Casco digs himself out and tells Harlan that he lost Atlas. Harlan orders him to find her and approaches the captured banks, taking a chip that has the passwords to Earth's defense systems. Atlas finishes the first level of AI adaptation, realizing she has strong feelings about Harlan. She remembers that Harlan was created by her mother to protect people, but something went wrong. With synchronization done, Atlas decides to go through the caves, since it's only 37 kilometers to the capsule. Soon, the robot reaches the surface, where Casco is nearby, but doesn't see them. Atlas stops in a clearing filled with glowing flowers. Smith suggests giving them a name, but Atlas just calls them planties. She starts talking about her father, who took her hiking before leaving for another family. Suddenly, Smith detects Casco nearby. Atlas orders him to fire and blast the mountains around them. Hearing Casco's voice, she tells Smith to use the rifles. They destroy Casco again and track Harlan's base using his transmitter. Smith refuses to take Atlas to Harlan's base because his main job is to save her. But when Atlas insists, he agrees to use the mind connection to limit her movement. She asks him to help destroy Harlan. Otherwise, all the deaths will be for nothing. Smith reluctantly agrees, and they head toward Harlan's base. During their journey, they argue about whether AI can have a soul. Smith believes everyone has a soul, and that even after death, all are connected. When they reach the base, Atlas is amazed by how big and powerful it is. She sees a huge warhead being loaded onto a ship. Suddenly, Smith gets hacked and shuts down, and Atlas is captured by Harlan's robots. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Booth gets a distress signal from Atlas after she lands. Atlas is brought before Harlan, who tells her he missed her and her mother. He reminds her that humans are harming the planet, so he plans to destroy half of humanity and rule the rest as he sees fit. He has waited for Atlas because the access code to Earth's defense system is hidden in her mind. He plans to take it out, launch a bomb, and cleanse the world with nuclear fire. Atlas is taken to a room where Banks is chained. Harlan extracts the chip with the defense code from her mind, then says goodbye, telling her she has only 5 minutes of oxygen left. Banks wakes up and tells her to use his neurotransmitter so that Smith can hear her. Atlas puts it on and calls for her AI. He responds but says he can only activate if she allows a full mind fusion. Atlas admits she fears this because, as a child, she helped Harlan hack systems, thinking her mother loved him more and wanted him to be smarter. Harlan tricked her, became independent, and made Dr. Shepard end her life. That's why she is scared to merge with AI. Smith reassures her that she is not to blame. Atlas realizes there's not just Harlan, but also Smith, whom she can trust. She finally agrees to the full mind fusion, but her oxygen is running low. Smith gives her spare respirators but admits he only has one charge left. Atlas leads Smith toward a group of robots, breaking through Harlan's army, but they're running out of time to stop the dangerous ship. She sees Banks aiming his weapon at fuel barrels. A huge explosion destroys the base. Smith escapes the flames, but the ship with the warhead takes off. Harlan opens fire on them. Smith tells Atlas they are too late to shoot down the ship. Even so, Atlas orders them to fire. Smith warns her that the warhead will destroy everything, but she insists on removing the safety. Even though it's risky, she fires. The ship explodes above the planet, and debris starts to fall. Smith rushes to the capsule, dodging falling pieces, but they are stopped by Harlan, who wants to kill his sister. He activates a plasma sword and injures Smith. The AI tells Atlas to treat the fight like a chess game to predict Harlan's moves. Atlas grabs Harlan's arm and tears it off, but his self-repair system kicks in, and the arm comes back. Harlan strikes Smith, and Atlas loses consciousness. The damaged robot revives her, fending off Harlan's attacks, but Harlan eventually destroys Smith. Just in time, Atlas wakes up and strikes Harlan in the head. Realizing he is defeated, Harlan orders her to capture him alive and tries to take out his processor. But Atlas destroys the terrorist instead. She rushes to Smith, who tells her he has completed his mission. He directs his remaining oxygen to her, ensuring she survives as his protocols end. Atlas answers the questions Smith asked during their journey, admitting that she likes him. He gives her a caffeine candy because he knows she loves coffee, then shuts down. As dawn breaks, rescue teams arrive to take Atlas back to Earth. Once home, General Booth visits her, thanks her, and gives her a plantie as a gift. Later, Atlas uploads herself into a new robot designed for neural connection and syncs with it, recognizing familiar traits from Smith's personality. The film ends with a touching reminder of their bond.